It's time for the poem of the day. And I'm going to read one of my own poems again. And I wanted to read this because it's kind of controversial. I'm not going to say who it's about, but some people and my family, familiar with my family, would know who it's about. The verse I put before this poem is, "Let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice." Ephesians 4:31. This poem is called "The Bitter Woman." And it's about someone who is married to a narcissist. And she chose to stay married because she didn't want to split up the money. So she still lives near him. I feel like in many ways he still controls her, but they are not together. They're just married. Let me read it. The bitter woman. She sits alone in her house watching the TV. She rants and raves about him. Look what he's done to me. Yes, she's a victim of abuse, but there's so much she doesn't see. Bad boys turn good girls into bitter women. So she's a prisoner of her pain. She won't let it go. This is insane. Afraid to love, afraid to give. It's no way for anyone to live. I joked that my books keep me company. My daughter can see the lonely cat lady in me. But that's what I refuse to be. So I'll let it go and let it grow. Clean out my closets just so. God is not the author of this chaos and confusion. The princess is all glorious within. Being bitter is sin. Yes, like a bitch, she's crouching at the door. But I will never let her in. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Some of us live in fear, but some of us persevere. The joy of the Lord will be our strength. So this connects about, I was going to talk about codependency. I'm going to make another little video today. And how I feel like it's, I don't know how it relates, but, well, it's a dysfunction. It's like a disease. I was going to talk about codependency and hoarding, because that woman that the poem is about is a hoarder, and it's like she's afraid. She feels like her stuff protects her or something. It's like a security blanket, you know. And so I posted on my community tab today a picture of the storage and the things I left in nice, neat little boxes. I organized it for my kids in the story vault. No, it was the storage, and I left that. It was stuff that I decided, like, I don't want this. They might want it. I didn't feel free. Like, I had tried texting my oldest daughter and was like, do you want your Cabbage Patch doll? I have a wonderful story about selling this teddy bear I had, because it was from the 80s, and it was my oldest daughter's. And I have wonderful stories that I will put in my book, some of which will go in my book when I write it, but about selling stuff and just the stories that came about. So I sold this teddy bear only for like, it was like $3 or $4, but it was a teddy bear from the 80s that I got when my oldest was born. So it's like things like that. I was like, I can't get rid of this. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go. I don't believe Sarah wants this. It was, you know, sitting around. It's been around for years. You know, that was something I didn't feel that she wanted, that I didn't put in the vault, that I sold. I gave her Cabbage Patch. I didn't know if she wanted it. She never answered my text. So I returned that to her. It was from my brother Paul when she was like 6 years old, I think, like 92. Yeah. But this teddy bear was from Publix, and my friend that was in my wedding had given it to us when Sarah was born. And so I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and this young woman about my daughter's age texted me and said, I'd like to buy this bear. It looks just like the bear I had when I was a child, and it was lost in a house fire. And I was like, that's so, and she was working as a nurse at the hospital, and we were having trouble, you know, getting the time together to get it to her. So I don't forget, whatever reason, but I wrapped it nicely in tissue paper. Like, she PayPal'd me the money, I think, and I wrapped it up in tissue paper, and I brought it to her at the hospital. And that was like one of the cool little stories out of selling my stuff, out of letting my stuff go, and letting it bless other people. And then another story was one of the lions. I was telling someone on Facebook who has the name Bold Lion that I had a lion collection. And one of the lions I had was a stone lion in my garden, which was hard to let go too, because I loved it. He was so cute. I named him Franklin because I got him in Franklin, Tennessee when I was out with my sister-in-law again. We went on lots of adventures, and I'm so glad we did. When she would come to see me, and we'd go to conferences or whatever. She'd come to the East Coast, and we'd go to Christian conferences or, you know, whatever, and go antiquing. But so it was this stone sleeping lion. And this lady messaged me and said, I'd love that for the memorial garden for my mother. Her mother had passed away. And I was like, oh, I love that. So I let that go. So, and I made $4,000 selling the contents of my house. I paid a lot more for that stuff. Honestly, though, I paid a lot more for that stuff. But if I had just given it all away, I wouldn't have made anything. And anyways, so that's a bit about hoarding and holding on to stuff and letting stuff go. And I guess this is the poem of the day and story time with Red. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.